everyone, welcome to the NOMONEY.MOPLANTS podcast. I'm your host Lebo, and I'm glad you're here. My guest today is an amazing woman, and she has agreed to re-record this podcast because we recorded it, I think, a week ago, and then the dog ate our homework. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, we have an amazing guest. She worked at one of the biggest fruit exporting companies in South Africa and decided to pivot her career. She's a horticulturist, she's a geneticist, and I'm really excited to have this conversation again. Sorry, Judy, we're having it again. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hi, please introduce yourself to all our listeners, Judy.
Hi, so I am Judy Mudau. I am a vendor girl and I am a geneticist. I'm so sorry for repeating all the things you said.
No, these are truths.
My truth, that is my truth. So that is it. That's it.
Is that it? Okay, but Judy, where are you from?
Awesome. Like an interview, like tell us about yourself.
Yes.
And then you start saying, my strength is that I'm a perfectionist, which is also my weakness.
But I was actually thinking, I was literally thinking about those things, Judy. I was like, goodness, these people want you to do some serious introspection. Like, for what?
Like
you're bending over backwards for peanuts here.
Anyways, I am a vendor girl. I'm from Venda in the Free State and Stellenbosch, but now I am in Pretoria.
How does it feel moving to a new place where you have to like make friends? Obviously you have friends and family there already, but you have to sort of start a new friendship group, if that makes sense. Like, how does that feel?
It sucks because I'm going to miss my wines, I'm going to miss the beach and the pretty mountains. And speaking of my wines, so I bought like 3 cases of wine so that I can move with them because the wine choices here are just like
Evansville Hills. Yeah, that's all you're going to get.
Yeah, so I got I got a red, I got sparkling wine, and I got white wine. So I was like, I'm pretty sorted for maybe 6 months. And then I check on the website for the fly essay and for mango, and they say you can take alcohol, but if the percentage is more than 24%, you can take it in as much as you want, but you just need to comply with the weight limit.
Oh gosh.
Okay,
and did you comply?
Okay, cool. No, I paid for extra weight. I paid for extra weight. And then I go there. This one time, I'm like 90 minutes early. So I'm talking to the cashier, and the cashier's like, so how many bottles do you have? And I tell homeboy, I have 18 bottles. And he's like, girl, you're only allowed to take 6. And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, just a box. Goodness.
That is not true. That is not true. Because I checked on your website, and then I asked him, so why do you say that on your website if that's not the truth? And then he's like, well, take it up with the website. And I was like,
hey, somebody needs wine. He clearly needed the wine bottle that day.
So my inner Karen woke up. I'm like, I want to speak to the manager. So we spoke to the manager. We managed to get 13 bottles in with my luggage, and I asked a passenger to take the rest for him as his luggage.
For the love of wine. Oh my goodness. Oh, Judy.
Anyways, I've been wanting to rant about that disappointing flight.
I know, it's very disappointing. And can you imagine, at least you've been here a number of times. People who have come, or you've lived here, people who are coming to visit the Western Cape and who've stacked up on their wine, and then they get this shock when they get to the airport. Can you imagine how terrible that is for them?
You know that boy that helped carry my stuff my one case with him on his luggage. I ended up giving him one bottle. Shame. Yo.
You were a dealer. You were literally those people during lockdown who were selling stuff at good prices.
So I don't even know how I digressed. But
Yeah, we digress. Okay, sorry. This is No Money, More Plants. So we're talking about the money. We're talking about how did you decide, like what you wanted your career path to be? Were there any indicators, you growing up, that you would want to go into the field of science?
Not growing up, unless like towards the end of high school is still growing up, because I don't think those people are grown. But I think more towards the end, because in my other, like when I was younger, it changed from me wanting to be a masseuse and wanting to be a teacher because my parents are teachers, and wanting to be a lawyer. But when it came down to it, I wanted to do genetics. I knew it, and then we were forced to double major, and then that's how the horticulture side came up. But yeah, there wasn't really any indicators.
Wait, let's go to the masseuse part. Judy, where did you learn about
massages? I am so good. Oh, my future husband is gonna be so happy.
No, but like, what black child is like, I just wanna, but there's a lot of people who are, I get it, somatology. That's what they're calling it now. You go and do like cosmetics or whatever.
But I'm very old, I guess, so they didn't call it there.
Yeah, I think it is a masseuse, but like the degree, I think, is a degree in somatology that you go and study that. Hey, we thank God that your dreams have changed.
What's wrong with being those people? If you go on ships, those people make mad money.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
And it's easier for them to go to other countries. Like if you want to immigrate, it's easier for you to do that. You know. Yeah, I know my ex sister-in-law did it. She went to like all over the United States.
With them, that's actually even cooking. I think a lot of people use. Like they become chefs and then they go work in restaurants all over the world, and it's like a cool thing to I think it's pretty cool. What country would you want to go and
Germany.
Okay, is there a particular reason?
Deutschland. When I was at Truecase, most of the people I worked with were like Germans from Germany.
Like what made you want to go to Germany? Just working with them?
Yeah, working with them was so nice, honestly. And like, some of the best agricultural companies are German companies like Bayer. And honestly, it's just, I love their science. I actually love the work ethic of the people. And I know they say Germans are rude, but no, not really.
They're very honest.
I mean, who isn't?
Yes.
Except for
Yeah. No.
Have you met a rude vendor person?
I haven't met a rude vendor person, I think.
Exactly. We are like saints from Jesus.
Okay. Let's in the spirit of Lufuno we'll accept that, but thereafter we will not. But so you said you mentioned the company that you worked for. What made you, and it was one of the biggest fruit exporting companies probably in Southern Africa. What was that experience like, and what led you to leave that job?
It was awesome. It was something new. I didn't expect it, and it was just like a shock at how awesome and intense and busy and rewarding it was. And I feel like it was always part of the plan to leave and do masters, because I've always wanted to do it. It's always been in my heart. But the light bulb moment was, I just said, like, I'm a very sciencey person, and most of the fruit exporting, I'm sure you can say that, is not the conventional science that we are used to.
Yeah, you actually miss the hardcore, like, learning what is happening in the xylem, and you like all of those little things that you used to learn about so much. You actually miss it because it's so commercial. The exporting, it's a great industry to be in, but it's so commercial that you're like, am I losing a part of myself, as a scientist? As a quote unquote scientist. But what did you learn in these past 2 years as a postgrad?
I learned that I'm very sensitive. I learned that God is great. And I just learned I actually learned a lot about myself, like how hard I can actually bend without breaking. What does that say?
Bend
how much I can bend without breaking. I think something like that. It's past like my quota right now.
Yeah, no, it's too late. See, we're recording at night, so it's very late. But what I wanted,
married, like it blows my mind. You're married to a person that you guys speak English, and I'm like, how does she not like run out in the middle of the night?
It definitely runs out, but you must keep going. Definitely, it runs out. Trust me, the quotas. Then you just say stuff. Sometimes you wake up speaking in Sotho or you're speaking in Xhosa and you're like, ish, let's keep it, yeah. But you know what I was actually thinking about was how, like, many people, like even when I think about my mom, they decided to go back to studying at a much later age, and like how privileged we are actually to be able to either leave the job and go back to study or continue studying as long as possible. Do you think you would have had the same experience if it was like 10 years from now, or
No.
not really?
No, definitely not. Unless I marry a rich man. If anybody who is more money, more plants, is a rich man who is looking for a gender woman, hit me up. You can find me on Instagram at Mulweli.MJ.
This is not the platform. This is not it. I do hope that you find a rich nigga, but no.
You never know, because rich men love plants. So you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Rich men they like to anything that they can blow their money on and look even more rich. Anyway, not all of them actually. But
how many do you know when you're like not
actually? To be honest with you, and like I think you will tell us after living in Joburg for like a while now. You like once you've lived for a while there, you will tell us, because I've been asking myself. I've been wondering. I'm like, did I actually ever get anyone to buy me a drink in a club in like Cape Town? Because I hear all the people who are coming from Joburg, they're like, yeah, this is how it's done. And I'm like, no. Even if there are rich niggas in Cape Town, they are not buying anyone. We are grateful. We can buy our own drinks.
True. Yeah, that is true. Like, honestly, I don't even need to be like staying in Joburg for like a few months. I remember like a couple of months ago when I was in a true Cape and I had a meeting in Joburg. I went to a restaurant with my friend Naki. Hi Naki, I love you. With my friend Naki. And we were honestly minding our own business. We were gonna pay our own bill. But these men were insisting here, and I'm literally like, you don't even know us from Adam, my dog.
Yeah.
What is this? But honestly, it's the most uncomfortable thing ever. Like, if I ask you to take it off my bill, then do it. But I can pay because I know what can happen to people. Because some men, getting all worked up, can feel entitled after just like buying you a savannah, which is 20 rand. But that's neither here nor there.
What kind of drink do you want, Judy? You don't want a savannah.
What are you saying?
Okay, let's not directly. We're digressing. Let's come.
Yeah.
So how would you explain a geneticist to your grandmother, your late grandmother? How would you explain?
Maybe always thinking.
Amen.
It's difficult, honestly. I always be like agriculture, because I think that they know, because you can't I couldn't even, for my grandparents, I couldn't even say DNA, which DNA is something most people know. I couldn't even say that because they wouldn't. My paternal grandmother didn't speak a word of English, and but I can always say like paternity test, because my brother's always like watching paternity court at home.
Hey, that stuff is drama.
So those shows have helped.
To explain that, hey, if the child is not yours, you will tell by the DNA. And then,
Yes.
Whereas your grandmother used to use the nose and say, that nose is definitely...
Yes. Or like that forehead.
That forehead is definitely his forehead. Oh goodness, Judy. But how is the experience going back into the working world, or like interviewing for the working world? How has that been?
It's been I didn't really interview that much. My supervisor helped me a lot with like sending out my CVs, and because when I was sending it out on my own, I wasn't getting any responses except for one.
Yeah.
And but she helped me send out my CV for the other people, and you know.
Yeah, because we were speaking about this with Asi, and we're like, it feels like you're throwing your CV out into a void, and no one.
Right, I feel like they should tell me you're unsuccessful, because I don't know if I need to like keep the faith or like keep on trying somewhere else. Because like you sent your 20th CV and you're just like, oh.
It's insane. And my issue is like, I was talking to Lungi about this. I'm like, I don't understand what employers are looking for, right? Because you put it all down there, you have the experience, and then you also put down like what, like you went to go and do a master's. That's already something that probably majority of the people who are applying for that position, I hope, or I think, do not have. But you're like, what is it? What do they want? What can they just give us the secret ingredient that they want? Because honestly, the number of people that I know that are unemployed is actually ridiculous compared to the number of jobs that I'm seeing on platforms and things like that.
I was actually speaking to a friend of mine who I will not mention his name. He said sometimes they know who they want, so they make the job ad specific to that person. You understand? Yeah, for instance, they will ask you like, for instance, they will say they want somebody from very well who attended Stellenbosch University, who lives in Belleville. Stuff like that.
No, that's no, but I saw this other podcast. It's a Nigerian podcast. I said what I said. It's like my favorite podcast ever. But they interview. I actually haven't listened to the episode, but I saw some posts on Instagram, and this guy went to go fetch his CV because they do printed CVs.
I should go fetch my CVs.
I want to fetch my CVs, Judy. He was like, I want to come pick my CV. Like, he went to go fetch his CV. He's like, niggas, I printed this out. I'm about to get my I'm getting my money's worth. You are not. So I can just take it and drop it elsewhere. I'm not going to do this. I love it.
No, but that period, I'm so glad I'm over it. I'm done with that, but it was so rough. Like, I was so defeated. I think before I got contacted for this thing, right? I had reached my last no. Yeah. It wasn't even a no. I had reached my last silence.
Yeah, because they don't talk.
I was at my wit's end, but God is good.
Yeah, amen. No, that is the truth. Oh, we thank God. So, are you someone that listens to podcasts, Judy?
Yes.
What is your favorite one?
I listen to the ones from church.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I go to Hillsong. I listen to those ones.
Why do I feel like this is a plug for your church? You're like, hey guys.
Dude, I am gonna use milk this because I haven't gotten my dinner invited.
So you must do everything, all of the
Yes,
things.
I'm gonna milk this. I'm gonna milk this like. I listen to my church and I love the Bachelor franchise. So there's Bachelor Nation podcast, not like the South African Bachelor, but like the American one. I listen to those podcasts, Bachelor Happy Hour, and
I can only imagine what they talk about. Oh goodness, Judy, you know what I was thinking? Actually, you are a very active person. What about? Have you ever tried? What's that? The longest date. Maybe you will find yourself a rich man who's athletic there.
what is it called?
The longest date. They were actually looking for applicants. I don't know if it's still available, like if it's still open.
I wanna do that. You know, I love those things. I love like Married at First Sight and Love is Blind and 90 Day Fiancé. I would do those shows in a heartbeat.
No, but my thing is, I just worry about like how much pain you go through after those things, because you can see it breaks people. No, it can break you.
Don't act a fool and you'll be fine.
Who doesn't act a fool when they think they're in love? Please, girl. People act a fool with love. Love is blind. Ladies, I must say that.
You were very calm.
Hi, Judy. I think we've come to the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. I think a lot of people are going to learn from your story and feel very encouraged to go back to school and know that there will be a job. It may take a while, but there will be a job afterwards. Please.
Also, choose your university wisely, choose your supervisor wisely, you know?
Yes. The truth. Like, I don't think the postgraduate experience is, how can we say, it's broken down enough in, especially on the internet. I found it very difficult to find people who I could relate to, because everybody else is working. They've got Gucci bags. They're going on holidays. But they're not talking about, like, there's no one who's talking about getting bursary money or waiting for bursary money. Or
we'll have another interview.
Yeah, we literally need a whole season breaking down the mental health issues that you experience as a postgrad student, and
also like you kind of feel stagnant because all your friends are working and making money, and when you are there.
Yeah. No, it definitely needs an episode or a season. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate you. Please pimp yourself out. Where can people find you? Where can the rich husband find you?
I'm on Twitter. It's at Judy Mudau with 2 underscores.
Why?
Because all Judy Mudau were taken, so I have and Judy Mudau underscore was taken as well.
Oh gosh.
So I could only have 2 underscores. But on Instagram, and my photos are not edited, so I won't catfish you. Don't worry. I just remember Khloe Kardashian photos.
Oh gosh.
But anyway, on Instagram at mulweli.mj, mulweli.mj.
Thank you so much, Judy. Thank you.
On LinkedIn, employees.
Yeah, employers, wherever you are, please.
Mulweli Mudau on LinkedIn.
She's a respectable geneticist looking for a rich husband. Yes, those 2 things can go hand in hand. Thank you so much, Judy.
Thank you for having me.
Sorry to interrupt your listening experience. Are you looking for an online e-commerce site where you can sell your unique product? That Buying Site is a community-centered online shopping platform that provides a digital space for small local businesses to sell their products. They love to support local, and their desire is for communities to invest in each other and thereby grow better communities together. If you would like to inquire about selling your unique product on That Buying Site, contact them at info@thatbuyingsite.com or call or WhatsApp on 065-841-8624. That is thatbuyingsite.com. Thanks for listening to this week's episode. See you in the next episode with another amazing guest. Bye.